Hey everyone, Matt here. Wanted to do a little video and kind of give you guys my experience, share a little bit about what I've learned in the process of picking up a couple of the Upland Gun Company shotguns. Upland Gun Company is fairly new. They came onto the scene a handful of years ago. Mr. Jerry Havel kind of brought that to market, and they're importing these out of Italy. But they offer a very unique experience. Their whole business model revolves around being able to really create custom guns at a really affordable price point as far as custom guns go. And so I got these guns a little over a year ago. I didn't want to, take a new gun out of the box and say, hey, here's what I think of this gun. No, these are guns that I've shot, used, and even tweaked and kind of changed to accommodate me even better, even though I was fitted for them. And so I just wanted to kind of share some of my learnings for those of you that are maybe interested in looking at these guns, talking to Nick over there and picking up one of your own. I wanted to kind of, again, just share some of the little nuggets that I was able to take away, and hopefully that's helpful to point you in the right direction and get you into the gun that's going to work very, very best for you. Both of these guns are a Venus model. This is the first gun that I picked up from Jerry. And for me, this is like a family heirloom caliber firearms. There's a handful of custom engraving. We'll show that in a little bit of B-roll. And it's got the finalized feather on the barrel release. And then on the bottom of the receiver, we've got the feather there as well. I believe it's grade 3 wood. I have not babied this gun in any way, shape, or form. And it is a 28 gauge, 2 3/4 inch chamber. And I went with 28-inch barrels. I've shot a lot of different species of birds with this. I think last year in 2023, shot 10 different species in, I think, 10 different states. So it's been all over the US with me and had a lot of great experiences with it. It shoots very, very well. But there's a couple things I learned, and there's a reason that I did end up picking up a 20 gauge. Now, when I was originally fitted for the gun, there's a handful of different custom fitters, essentially. There's one in Idaho, there's Dell Whitman, there's a handful of other guys out there, and you can get with them, you can go through the whole fitting process, which I highly recommend. One, it's just a cool process to go through. You're going to learn a lot, and if you're going to spend, any type of money on a firearm that's really built for you, it's worth spending the extra time to get that off on the right foot. So, what I learned was that these guns are very, very lightweight. Everything is true to scale. And during the building process, Nick and Jerry were kind of trying to push me towards 30-inch barrels. They say, hey, you're gonna want the longer barrels, especially for a Western gun. A lot of our shots, outside of being in the grouse woods and on the prairie where everything's close, chukar and pheasant, you got to swing on the bird. And I'm a firm believer that a gun that's in that 6 to 6.5 pound range is really the sweet spot for me as far as being able to have a gun that I can shoot really at any distance. And so while this gun is fantastic grouse hunting, it's great on the prairie, anything that's a little more point and shoot, this is great for that. But it is very lightweight. It's under 6 pounds. And what I found myself doing hunting chukar and shooting at a little bit longer distances than that 30 to 40 yards, maybe 50 yards. If I had to swing excessively on a bird, I would shoot in front of it just because the gun was so light. And so one of the things that I did, and this is probably, black magic, or I don't even know what word to describe it as in the double gun space. I actually took a piece of lead tape, weighted tape, the stuff that they'll put on the back of tennis rackets and stuff like that. Anytime I need to add a couple ounces to a gun, I'll actually put that, in somewhere in the barrels. And then so on the bottom of here, that lead tape runs underneath here. And then I've just got a piece of black electric tape covering that. So, yeah, kind of probably goes against the grain, but I needed to have that additional weight at the front of my gun just to slow it down enough. It fits me great. It shoots fantastic. We had a great hunt this morning, took a couple blue grouse with it. All around, very, very, very nice gun. One of the things that I even experienced as well, even though I was fitted for the gun, I shoot a lot of hand loads, and a lot of my hand loads are pretty hot. I spice them up pretty good. And so I did end up swapping out the orange recoil pad that came on their gun. I ground this myself, and this is just a kick ease. It is a little bit longer. I lengthened it out just a little bit, and it fits me really, really good. So anyways, fantastic gun, absolutely beautiful. Just the custom work, the caliber of wood, everything. It's just, it's a gun I'm gonna have in my family for many, many years. So I wanna talk about this 20 gauge that I got here, and some of the things I just explained are the very reason that I got it. Like I mentioned, the 28 gauge was very, very lightweight, and I shoot it well. I mean, I shot a couple birds with it today. But like I said, there's something about a gun that's in that 6 to 6.5 pound range that just, I shoot very, very well. And I've kind of just learned that over owning multiple guns. I probably own more guns than I should. But this particular gun, we were at Pheasant Fest. It was leaning up on the rack there, and I think it was a demo gun that had traveled and been to a bunch of different shoots. This isn't as nearly as fancy. It doesn't have the long tang. It's just the coin finish. Definitely more of a what I would consider a field grade gun. Wood's still beautiful, but I picked it up and shouldered it. It does have 30-inch barrels, and so this particular gun just fit me that much better, and I shoot it incredibly well. So I've shot this quite a bit in conjunction with these two guns, but these are two that I've always kind of just got in the truck with me, and they're guns that I have a lot of confidence in. So couple things I learned as well on the rib side of things. I own a couple Dickinson Estates. They're kind of a middle ground, definitely field grade type gun, and I really liked, I'm trying to think of the exact word, the rib itself was basically stippled or had engraving basically in it that looked very similar to the checkering. And what I noticed was that I didn't get a lot of glare at the front of my bead. These both have brass beads, and not that I'm ever looking at the bead. You know, shotgunning is obviously very instinctive, but I did notice that I would see that reflection there. So when I get another one of these, I am going to do a different rib. Just for me personally, that's just one thing that I did like about the other gun that I had, and that's maybe a personal preference. This is obviously a very classic look and feel, but that was one thing that I took away. So, man, really in summary, Upland Gun Company is doing a fantastic job. Both just beautiful, beautiful guns, a treat to shoot. The things that I would do different, personally, is I would make sure that you listen to Nick first and foremost, and probably go with the longer barrels. Make sure that that gun finished weight is going to be a weight that you're comfortable shooting, and it's applicable to the majority of the hunting that you're doing. These are both been a great option for me. I shoot them great, zero issues at all. But between longer barrels and probably changing the rib up, those are two things that I would have personally done different and plan on doing on my next one. So hopefully you guys got a little nugget out of this. Highly recommend you reach out to those guys. They didn't ask me to do this. I'm just doing it because I think they're great people. I like supporting their business, and hope you'll consider doing so as well. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you learned something. Take care.